Hey, what's going on, everybody? So it's a beautiful Sunday morning, and boy, just a better time I can't think, rather, to work on the hood of my '59 Apache. So, or I guess right around this time last year, this thing was completely framed off, sandblasted. Scan right over here in the backyard. You see this area out there, all the way through there is where we completely had the truck torn apart through this area. There's this scab area there where all the grass is gone, and finally back out to the front where the truck sits now currently. Anyway, so everything was sandblasted down, brought back down to bare metal, and unfortunately, you know, not epoxy, but self-etching primer is not a sealing primer unless you're going to put paint on it like soon. And so on the top side of this hood is all primed up again because I had a bunch of surface rust coming through. No pitting, it's just, you know, oxidation and all that kind of good stuff. Anyway, we're going to get back after this hood today and try to get it under POR 15. And as you can see, there's been a lot of cutting off, and I had a lot of grinding off, and I had a lot of these little orange spots that were fresh rust. I don't know if I can find, yeah, like right here. Let me see, right there. And it was flashed all the way through this area. There's a lot of work. I had to go back and, you know, regrind everything, but this stuff now, it's ready for POR 15, and as soon as I get it done and painted up, I'll bring you back and show you what I've got done. All right, talk to you later. Yeah, so I'm back, and I didn't get to get my POR 15 on because a further inspection shows some cheesecloth. So I got some little rabbit holes here and here, and a little bit of rust to fix up in here. And listen, you know, don't just ignore it, because that's gonna come back and it's gonna bite you. And this is in a support area, so that really needs to be cleaned up and welded in. And that's what I'm gonna do. I've already started here. I have my my Lincoln welder properly set, and then seems how I found that earlier. I went on and welded up the front buttons, or the holes for the emblem, because this hood is off of a 58. Although the 58 and 59 are exactly the same, the difference is the fender emblem, the fender badges, and the hood emblems. There's your difference. Other than that, there is no difference at all. I also came over here and did some repairing here and here. I might hit a spot there, and there. Well, no, not there. And then I think there was, oh yeah, up here. I'll show you what I got done. It's really kind of interesting because it just popped in there really nice. Right here, this tacked up really nice, and I didn't get any blow-throughs. And that's another thing, you know, when you're using your welder, you know you have the proper speed set and the proper time on the metal, so you don't get blow-throughs, because I've had plenty of practice on blowing through metals on this truck and spend time and hours going back and fixing and grinding, So I learned my lesson. All right, I'll get back to you in a little bit after I'm done, and talk to you later. Bye. And as luck would have it, no sooner than I got done running my mouth about getting blow-throughs, I got one right here, and it was a big one. It started a small hole here, and it went completely in that direction. It went south quick, so that's kind of aggravating. Then I went back over here and started working on cleaning up some previous welds, which you know, I started learning some time ago, and now I've learned how to do the art a bit better. So these are good. They're ground in, but and they're going to hold. It's going to be just fine. And then I have blow through here. I didn't think I would, but I did. And I know for a fact I'm going to get it right here, because you see that little rough spot there, and there. That's where there's tiny pinholes. And sometimes you get lucky. Other times not too much. And this is what I already showed you on the front, but I'll show you the front side of these welds here. Right here is where the emblems go, the hood emblem. So that's going to grind nice and flat. That'll be all pretty. And yeah, so I'll be back in a little bit and tell you what else I've been doing. Also, when you get a nice flat area where you can do welding, you can put this copper backing there, like I did right here on these holes right here, right there. So I put that on this side. It's got magnetic. It's really cool, and just sits there flat against the metal. And then you can go back and weld all this. You don't have to worry about the weld going running out on you. It's really super good, works well. and I'll be grinding that down later on here, getting that smooth, and then we'll go with POR 15 after I re-clean everything. All right, that's it for now, and I'll talk to you guys later. Bye. Well, as luck would have it, actually lucked out this time, and all this in here didn't run on me, and I was able to spot it out. I'm like, oh, that's awesome. So with that being said, I'm going to get the grinder out. I'm going to clean all this up. I'm going to get the vacuum cleaner out, and then get this all the debris taken out of the hood, blown out, and all that stuff. And then yeah, we're going to get after the POR 15 and get it painted and hopefully flipped over, and then start working on the badging area where the 59 badge goes. Get that all cleaned up, start throwing Bondo and mud on it, and I'm going to get it under epoxy primer today. That's the hope anyway. And I'll be back later. Talk to you later. Bye. And so once again, I'm back after it. So you can look right here where the hood emblem bolt holes used to be for the 58 hood, which is what this is going on 59. Because the bolt holes don't line up, you can't use them. So it's ground nice and flat and filled in good. You see the you can see the penetration through there real good. And then right here where there was holes and couldn't really get up in there and grind that, but you're not going to see that too much. It really doesn't affect anything. Still got to come back and touch this up with a grinder, because once you, looks like I blew a hole, and it sure did. Yeah, I'll be working on that for a minute. And then around here where all the nice holes used to be, they're all ground in and welded up now. Looks like I'll be going back and fixing this. I don't know how I missed that, but that's definitely got to be fixed because that's a hole blown through. Alrighty, we will talk to you in a minute. Hopefully next time when I come back, this thing will be under POR 15. All right, talk to you later. Bye. Okay, so now I'm back again, and this is what you're looking for in the finished product. You know, when you talk about cheesecloths, you talk about really thin metal that's been rusted through. They're a real pain in the neck. Now, see, the factory, all this is like spot welded, so you have this wave along here. So if you're trying to get all this straight, you can forget about it because it wasn't straight from the factory. These little V-shaped notches right here, those are impact points. In other words, instead of the hood going through the windshield of the driver, it would collapse at these points if it got hit in a front end accident. Good technology back then, and even for today. Anyway, so I went back and re-hit these holes again and got them straightened up. And I had another spot over here to fix, which was right here, and I showed it previously, but I went back and hit it again. This is just divils, and I'm not gonna mess with it because I don't care. And this has all been welded in now, spots taken care of, smoothed out. Now this is the old days when I was learning how to weld. As you can see, it was a bit of a proud weld. In other words, it was puffed up, didn't have my temperatures and wire setting. And as I got better and better and better, I started getting better and better and better. And I started getting nice, smooth, wider, good penetrating welds. So I've learned my lesson. Anyway, we'll be back to you in just a little bit. Didn't think I needed to bother you guys with the boring details of wiping down and cleaning and then prepping the surface for POR 15. But you do, you really have to wipe it down and get it clean. Removing large parts of rust is probably a good idea. You remove as much as you can. This requires 2 coats, but this has now been POR 15 all the way through. Every possible nook and cranny and crevice that I can get my brush into. And because it's underneath the sun right now, it's going to dry in a gloss like this. I don't know if that's good or bad. Frankly, I don't really care because it's going to be closed 90% of the time. But I got all the welds taken care of, all the holes plugged up, all the things that I needed to get done, and I didn't see any bleed through on the primer. I mean, I spilled paint on the primer doing the edges and stuff. And here comes the ambulance. All this in here, it's all nice and shiny and pretty. And let's see. Oh, I got a bleed through right there. There it is. Yep, sure did. Oh well. 1 out of 3 ain't bad. It ain't gonna kill me. Thought I'd show you the finished product. Got one more coat to do. Hang tight. All right, so we took a break from the hood. Now I'm gonna roll out here to the front of the truck. Get a good shot here. As you can see, I pulled the hood off. And this fender here is unbolted. It's just sitting there. That would be this fender right here. And I put an epoxy primer on it, and it still bled through, so I probably didn't get it on there thick enough. That's all good. I still got, you know, little bits and pieces here to fix, to actually get the contour of that eyebrow correct. But I've also gone ahead and refinished all this, and refinished all in there nice. And see, I'll do that separate because the fenders come off. This got to be pulled off and redone again. It's no big deal. But all that's been freshly painted, because what's going to happen is we're going to pan back around here and go look at the piece that keeps the turn signal bezels and light indicators where they should go, and that's right here. And this is going to be the color of the truck. It is now sitting under clear coat, drying. It'll take about an hour for it to dry before I can put that back on there. The front piece is not perfect, and there's a reason for that. Like I said, this is a story truck. It's going to be a very clean rat rod. There'll be imperfections, but it was done that way on purpose, because as I said, it's a story truck. It's a tribute truck to our brothers and sisters who have gone before us in the military, and each little imperfection has something to do in a story behind a soldier's life. Sailor, airman, Navy, Coast Guard, whatever the case may be. All right, I'll be back at you soon. So here we are in the finished product of the hood of the 59 Apache. All the cross bracing, center bracing, hood latch, all that was taken off, sanded, treated, painted, and yeah, I got a pretty good product here. I'm pretty happy with the way it came out. I used the original bolts back in there. I haven't decided if I'm going to go stainless steel on those, which I probably will, but because of time and where I'm at, my constraints in the backyard and what else I got to get done today, I'll put the old ones back in. So I use this silicone stuff by WD-40, and it's water resistant silicone lubricant. No, we're not sponsored. I just, you know, if you guys want to know what I do, and that's what I use, because it doesn't leave a nasty film on your hands, and it comes off really easy, wipes off nice. But here we are, all welded in. It's still slightly tacky. I thought it was going to be shiny, but it's not. I was mistaken. I didn't get the gloss type, which is fine with me. This is gloss, and everything came out really well. So here in a few minutes, I'm going to flip the hood over, and then I'm going to start working on the actual the body work, the Bondo. Start getting this done. I got to knock this out. But I hope you enjoyed it. Stay tuned. There's more to come on the hood. All right, talk to you later. Bye. Now that I had the hood flipped over, you can see the spillage from the POR 15. It doesn't come off with paint thinner. It has to be ground off. So at least I know the edge is saturated real good, and all this will be easy to fix. You know, put some Bondo mud on it. The idea behind doing body work is to get your panels, you know, get your panels as flat as you possibly can with as little as mud as possible. I'm learning from a guy, and I know he doesn't care if I tell him. The guy's name's Josh Logan, and you know, I've seen him do some just stupid, crazy stuff. The guy's good. He does concourse work, and he's told me, he said, I'm not painting your truck unless it's right. So I have redone and redone and redone my fenders and hood I don't know how many times, and if he says it's not good, then it's not going to be good. But I tell you what, I'm learning a lot about body work, what to do and what not to do. As you can see, I'm going to have to come all the way around here. There are very few dings and dents in this hood, so I should be able to get out of jail with, you know, pretty cheaply, as it were. Anyway, all right, I'll keep you guys posted. Hang in there. I'm going to start work on this, all these four here, and then I'm going to clean all this up, and I'll have a good base to work on. All right, talk to you later. Bye. Back on the hood, and the reason why you don't want to get that POR 15 on your paint or on your primers, because you got I took a it looks like a scouring pad. It's actually a paint and rust stripper to take this off, and it's splattered. In other words, it like got hot and it just went all over the hood, and you know, speckled flecks of POR 15. So now the whole hood has to be pulled off, rather stripped off again. But you know, I've had some dents. I had a little bit of rust repair I had to do anyway, So I kind of figured I needed to do that. But remember that when you're using POR15, it's kind of fussy stuff. It's good stuff, but you got to really let it cure and cure hard. But even when it does, like right here, I took that paint and rust remover and scoured it all off. And then you see those little things right there, gums up your sandpaper. And that's not the primer, that's the POR15 under the primer. And I've got these millions of little speckles along here, so I've had to, you know, flatboard it and do it all over again. And you know, we'll see what happens. Stay tuned, we'll be back with more. Hey, it's back at you. How's everybody doing? All right, beautiful Sunday afternoon still. And as you see, I've stripped, well, I haven't taken it all off areas that were affected, and I put Bondo on the areas that have need of attention. And there's a small dent there. I was able to actually knock the high spot down here. And the only reason why it's that much mud is because I got heavy-handed. Try not to do too much mud at one time, because then there's a whole lot extra longboarding. And then right here, where all the weld spots were, come up, that'll be real nice. And right here, there was a spot that I couldn't get to because of, no, it was that spot back there. I couldn't knock it out. It looks like somebody actually went like this, just dropped something on it, and it concaved it in. Couldn't get to it because there's a brace there. Now you could spot weld some nails to it and pull it out that way, but it's not that much Bondo in there. And of course on the edges here where rust through had been repaired previously. So what I'm going to do next is I'm going to get this longboard out here, and on the flat plane areas where it's nice and flat like all this area, you'll be able to longboard and feather that out real nice, and you'll have a nice even finish all the way across. And then all this is already taken care of, so we'll probably just use some spot putty along the lines, or some icing to take care of all that, and I'll take care of the little nicks. But prior to that, we're going to sand down all this stuff, get it smooth, and then I'm going to lay some epoxy primer on it and call it a day. All right, we'll be back in a little bit. See ya. All right, so we're back on this hood again, and as you can see, it's been blocked down and it's been feathered really nice. And one of the ways you can tell that if your Bondo is going to adhere good is when you've got a nice feather like this and it doesn't flake, it doesn't break off. And this is beautiful. It's all feathered out really nice. Of course, there's going to be more block work when I go to put the epoxy primer on it and get it covered up. And then you've got to use a guide coat, and the guide coat reveals scratches and high spots and low spots where you got to go back and either fill and sand, or whatever the case may be. This one actually needs a little bit more sanding right here. I can feel a rough spot where I didn't feather it in good, and a little spot there, but I got to be careful because that was pretty substantial dent. Well, it wasn't a big dent, it was just a long, easy dent. And this is all done. This came out really good, and so now I am going to clean it all off and go mix some epoxy primer and get it covered. Talk to you later. So after a long, nice day in the beautiful Sunday sun and gentle breeze, I now have this hood completed, meaning it has 2 wet coats of epoxy primer on it. All body work rust holes have been sealed up. The underside of the hood has been treated with POR15, and remarkably so, this hood is showing like almost no signs of my body work, and which is really beautiful, because that just makes me happy. That means I don't have to go back over and redo stuff again and again and again. So I did it right the first time. Like I said, Josh Logan, oh God, man, that guy's just nuts. He's like, yeah, you're gonna do it this way, or I'm not gonna paint it. So, you know, I'm following the directions, all the cues from him and other guys who know what they're doing. Obviously, they're better at the stuff than I am. But this hood is now under epoxy primer and absolutely beautiful. I love it, I love it, I love it. I'll use another block sand on it probably tomorrow when it's all dried, and then finish it off. And then tomorrow we're going to put exhaust on the 1959 Chevy Apache, and to really get a first start out of it. But this is going to be good. This is going to be good. It's getting exciting now. I got my title. The truck's legal. It's mine. Everything's good. And I'm just hoping for a really, really fantastic outcome for everything. And hey, as always, thanks for watching. Appreciate you guys. And shout out to all my veteran brothers and sisters. Thanks for all what you do for our country. All right, talk to you later. Bye.